Before we begin, a quick and important disclaimer. The stories and information shared in this video are for educational and informational purposes only, based on personal and professional experiences within the U.S. healthcare system. This presentation is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, please contact a qualified healthcare professional or use the emergency resources listed in the description below. The first time a patient threw a chair at me, my first thought wasn't, "I'm in danger." It wasn't, "I need to call security." It was, "I hope he didn't hurt his back doing that." That's the moment I knew this job wasn't just a job. It's a fundamental rewiring of your brain. Welcome to the world of psychiatric nursing. You've probably seen the Hollywood version. The dramatic, sometimes terrifying, often inaccurate portrayal of life behind the locked doors of a psychiatric unit. But you're here because you want the real story. You want to know what it's actually like to walk onto that unit, take that deep breath, and spend the next 12 hours navigating the most complex and misunderstood landscape in all of medicine, the human mind. And that's exactly what I'm going to give you. Forget the cliches. This is the unfiltered, ground-level truth of a day in the life of a mental health nurse in the United States. By the time this is over, you will understand the bone-deep exhaustion and the soul-lifting triumphs. You'll know the skills it takes to de-escalate a crisis with nothing but your words, the resilience required to absorb trauma without breaking, and the profound, almost secret, reward of seeing a flicker of hope return to someone's eyes. Whether you're a nursing student wondering if this is your calling, a patient's family member seeking to understand, or you're just fascinated by what really goes on in these places, you're about to get the full picture. This isn't just a career path. It's a crash course in humanity. My day doesn't start with a gentle alarm. It starts with a jolt at 4:45 a.m. It's that pre-dawn darkness where the world is still quiet, and my mind is already loud. The first battle of the day happens right here, in bed. It's the battle against the what-ifs. What if today is the day a patient gets violent? What if I miss a subtle sign? What if I say the wrong thing and make things worse? This isn't your typical pre-work anxiety. It's a specific, calculated risk assessment that begins before my feet even hit the floor. So I have a routine, a ritual. It's my armor. Coffee first. Strong. Black. As I drink it, I don't check the news. I don't scroll through social media. That's other people's chaos. I have my own waiting for me. Instead, I try to find my center. I focus on my breathing, on the feeling of the warm mug in my hands. It's a deliberate act of grounding myself in my own reality before I step into a dozen others. I put on my scrubs, the uniform that acts as both a shield and a target. I double-check my pockets. Shears, a pen that clicks quietly, a roll of tape, a folded-up piece of paper with emergency numbers. The little tools of the trade. And as I walk out the door, I take one last look at my own quiet, orderly home, and I say a silent goodbye to it for the next 13 hours. The commute is the transition zone. It's a 25-minute drive where I transform. I can't listen to anything too jarring, no angry music, no stressful talk radio. It's usually something instrumental, something that lets my mind prepare. I'm running through my mental checklist. What do I know about the patients on the unit right now? Who is high risk? Who is making progress? Who is struggling with medication side effects? I'm no longer just me. I'm becoming the person I need to be to handle what's coming. Calm, observant, unflappable. Or at least I'm preparing to fake it convincingly because sometimes that's half the job. I pull into the hospital parking lot, and the sheer size of the building is a reminder of the massive, complex system I'm a part of. But my world is smaller. It's one specific unit on one specific floor. I walk through the main entrance, badge in, and the smell hits me first. It's that unique sterile scent of hospital, a mix of antiseptic and something vaguely institutional. The journey to my unit is a series of locks. Swipe my badge, the first door buzzes open. Walk through, it clicks shut behind me. Another swipe, another buzz, another click. Each sound is a step further away from the outside world. It's a necessary security measure, but it's also symbolic. We are entering a self-contained world, with its own rules, its own pace, and its own reality. I arrive on the unit at 6:45 a.m., 15 minutes before my shift officially starts. The night shift nurse sees me and her face is a mixture of exhaustion and relief. This is the most critical moment of the entire day. The handoff report. This isn't just a summary. It's a transfer of immense responsibility. We huddle in the nurse's station, A small island of relative calm in the center of the unit. The night is usually quieter, but quiet is not the same as calm. Quiet can be tense. Quiet can be the precursor to a storm. She starts talking, her voice low and rapid fire. Okay, so in room 201 we have Mr. Henderson. 72-year-old male, severe depression with psychotic features. He was up most of the night, pacing, talking to himself. His wife called, concerned. He's refusing his morning meds again, says they're poison. Keep a close eye on him. His paranoia is escalating. My pen is flying across my report sheet. I'm not just writing down facts. I'm building a mental map of the day. I'm visualizing Mr. Henderson, thinking about my approach. I can't just walk in and say, "Time for your meds." That's a guaranteed failure. I'll need to build rapport first, maybe talk about the weather, his favorite baseball team, anything to connect with the person behind the paranoia before I even mention the little paper cup of pills. She moves on. Room 202, Sarah. 19 years old, first psychotic break, brought in by campus police. She's terrified. Thinks the cameras are watching her. She's been isolating in her room, hasn't eaten much. Night shift managed to get her to drink some juice. The key with her is a gentle, female-only approach. She sees men as authority figures from her delusion, so have one of the male techs check in from the doorway, but you'll need to be the primary. My mind shifts gears. From an elderly man lost in paranoia to a terrified teenager. Different diagnosis, different life story, different approach. Sarah needs safety. She needs quiet reassurance, not logic. You can't reason someone out of a delusion. You have to create an environment where they feel safe enough to find their own way back. Room 204, David. 35, detoxing from alcohol and benzodiazepines. He's on a seizure protocol, so vitals every 4 hours. He's been agitated, tremoring. Gave him his scheduled Ativan at 2 a.m. and he finally settled, but he'll be due again around 10. He's a high risk for a medical emergency. Watch his numbers like a hawk. This is the medical side. The part people forget about. Mental health nursing is still nursing. I'm monitoring blood pressure, heart rate, withdrawal symptoms that can be fatal if left untreated. I'm not just a therapist. I'm a medical professional keeping a body alive while its mind is in turmoil. The report continues like this for 10 more patients. A woman with bipolar I disorder who is in a manic phase, redecorating her room with toilet paper. A veteran with PTSD who shouts in his sleep. A young man with crippling social anxiety who hasn't spoken a word in 3 days. Each one is a universe of their own. A complex story of biology, trauma, and circumstance. And for the next 12 hours I am the navigator, the anchor, the medic, and sometimes the punching bag for all of them. The night nurse finally finishes, gathers her things, and gives me a tired but knowing look. "Good luck," she says. It's a simple phrase, but it carries the weight of everything she just told me. She hands me the keys to the unit and the medication cart. They feel heavy in my hand. The responsibility is now officially mine. The sun is just starting to rise outside, casting long shadows down the hallway. The unit is beginning to stir. I hear a door creak open, a low mumble from another room. I take a deep breath, clip the keys to my belt, and turn to face the hallway. My first stop is Mr. Henderson in 201. Just as I'm about to check on him, a high-pitched alarm starts blaring from the other end of the unit. It's the personal alarm one of the techs wears. A code. Someone is in distress, and my day has just officially begun. My heart lurches into my throat. That's not a fire alarm. That's a staff assist alarm. My feet are moving before my brain fully processes it. I pivot, breaking into a controlled jog down the polished linoleum hallway. The sound of my sneakers squeaking in rhythm with my pounding pulse. Other staff are emerging from rooms. Their faces a mixture of focus, calm, and high alert. We're a silent, converging force, all heading toward the source of the piercing electronic shriek. The day room. As I round the corner, the scene unfolds in a chaotic tableau. It's Michael, a young man in his early 20s, admitted 3 days ago for a severe psychotic break. He's backed one of our mental health technicians, a kind, burly man named David, into a corner. Michael is screaming, words tumbling out in a torrent of paranoia and fear, his eyes wide and unseeing. He's convinced David is an agent sent to poison him. A plastic chair is raised over his head, trembling in his grip. The other patients are a frozen audience, some shrinking away, others watching with a detached curiosity that's common on the unit. You don't run into a situation like this. You flow. My training kicks in, a calm, cold river running underneath the adrenaline. I become the lead nurse on scene simply by being the first one there. My initial assessment is rapid fire. Michael is a threat to others. David is cornered but unhurt. The other patients are safe for the moment. The exit is clear. My voice comes out low and steady, a stark contrast to the alarm and the screaming. Michael. It's me. It's Nurse Miller. Put the chair down, Michael. I take a slow, deliberate step into the room, keeping my hands open and visible. It's called a show of force, but it's a gentle one. 5 of us, me, 2 other nurses, and 2 techs, are now forming a loose semicircle, creating a presence without being threatening. We're not cornering him. We're containing the situation. They put something in the water, he screams, his knuckles white on the chair. He's one of them. He's trying to kill me. No one is trying to kill you, I say, my eyes locked on his. You are safe here. We are here to help you. I need you to put the chair down so we can talk. This is the delicate dance of psychiatric nursing. It's a negotiation. You're not just managing behavior. You're trying to reach the terrified person trapped inside the illness. You offer reality, you offer safety, you offer a way out of the fear. He hesitates. The chair lowers an inch. It's a flicker of hope. But then, his eyes dart to the side, to a reflection in the TV screen, and the paranoia surges back. Liar, he roars, and he swings the chair. It's not aimed at anyone. It's a desperate, lashing out motion. It smashes against the wall, the plastic cracking with a loud pop. And in that split second, the team moves. It's a practiced, fluid motion. David, the tech, uses the opportunity to sidestep out of the corner. The 2 other techs, both strong and incredibly well-trained, move in from the sides. It's not a tackle. It's a controlled hold, guiding a falling person to the ground. They gently but firmly bring Michael to the floor, protecting his head, controlling his limbs to prevent him from hurting himself or us. My job shifts. I'm on my knees beside him immediately, my voice still calm. Michael, we're not hurting you. We're just keeping everyone safe. He's struggling, sobbing now, the rage collapsing into sheer heartbreaking terror. The code is over, but the real work is just beginning. I signal for the emergency medication kit. Another nurse is already there with a pre-drawn syringe of what we call a B52, a cocktail of Benadryl, Haldol, and Ativan. It's a chemical restraint, our last resort when verbal de-escalation and a show of force have failed. It's not a punishment. It's medicine. It's designed to calm the storm in his brain, to quiet the voices and fears that are tormenting him, to give him peace when he can't find it for himself. I administer the injection into his deltoid muscle. This is medicine to help you feel calm, Michael. I explain, even as he thrashes. He needs to know what's happening, even if he can't process it. Within minutes, the medication begins to work. The struggling subsides, replaced by deep, ragged breaths. The terror in his eyes softens into a confused exhaustion. We transfer him to a gurney and wheel him to the quiet room, a private room with a comfortable mat on the floor and nothing else. It's a safe space to ride out the last of the storm. I stay with him, monitoring his breathing, his heart rate, his blood pressure, until he finally drifts into a much-needed sleep. Only then do I step out, pulling the door closed. The adrenaline finally recedes, leaving a profound weariness in its wake. My hands are shaking slightly. I take a deep breath, the smell of antiseptic and floor wax filling my lungs. The entire event, from the alarm to Michael falling asleep, took less than 15 minutes. Feels like hours. Now comes the mountain of paperwork. Every code requires an incident report, a detailed debrief, a physician's order for the seclusion and the emergency medication, and a new intensive care plan for the patient. I have to chart every single thing that was said and done by me, by the team, and by the patient. It has to be objective, precise, and legally sound. While I document, I also check in with the staff. I talk to David, the tech who was cornered. He's shaken but okay, already joking about needing a bigger cup of coffee. I check in with the other nurses and techs. We do a quick huddle, a post-mortem on the code. What went well? What could we do better next time? This isn't just protocol. It's how we survive. We lean on each other. And then I have to check on the other patients, the ones who witnessed the outburst. An event like this sends ripples through the whole unit. Can be triggering, frightening. I walk through the day room, speaking to each person, offering reassurance, answering questions, assessing their mental states. Some are anxious, others are completely unfazed. One patient, a sweet elderly woman with dementia, asks me if the nice young man is okay. I tell her yes, he's resting now and he's safe. An hour has passed. An entire hour swallowed by one crisis. And my day is still just beginning. I look at my assignment sheet, the neat checkboxes and patient names. I never even made it to Mr. Henderson's room. I grab his chart and head back down the hall, my mind consciously shifting gears from crisis management to quiet observation. Mr. Henderson is a 68-year-old retired librarian, admitted for major depressive disorder with catatonic features. His wife brought him in when he stopped eating, stopped speaking, and would just sit in a chair for hours on end, staring at a wall. I knocked gently on his doorframe before entering. "Mr. Henderson? It's Nurse Miller. I'm just coming in to check on you." He's sitting on the edge of his bed, exactly as the night nurse described. He's dressed, but his shoes are on the wrong feet. His hands are resting in his lap, and he's staring at the floor. He shows no sign that he's heard me. The silence in his room is a stark contrast to the chaos in the day room, but in its own way it's just as alarming. The screaming crisis is obvious. The silent crisis is insidious. I pull up a chair and sit at his eye level. "How are you feeling this morning, sir?" No response. His gaze doesn't flicker. This is catatonia. It's like the brain's engine has seized. He's not being defiant. He's trapped. My job is to be his anchor to reality, a calm, consistent presence. I check his vitals. His blood pressure is a little low, likely from not eating or drinking enough. I gently lift his arm to check his skin turgor, a simple test for dehydration. His skin is slow to return like dough. He needs fluids. I continue talking to him in a soft, even tone, narrating my actions. "I'm just going to check your pulse, Mr. Henderson. It's nice and steady. I'm going to get you some water now. It's important that we drink, even if we don't feel thirsty." I hold the cup with a straw to his lips. For a long moment, nothing happens. Then, almost imperceptibly, his lips part, and he takes a small sip. It's a victory. It's a sign that he's still in there, that he can respond. Each tiny sip is a step away from the abyss. After a few sips, he stops and I don't push. I just make a note. Intake 30 milliliters. It's not much, but it's a start. I know that later this morning, he's scheduled for his third round of ECT electroconvulsive therapy. It's a treatment that sounds terrifying and archaic to most people, thanks to movies like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But the reality is a safe, controlled medical procedure that can be life-saving for patients like Mr. Henderson, essentially rebooting the brain's electrical activity. For him, it might be the only thing that can pull him out of this state. My job is to make sure he's medically stable enough to receive it. As I'm finishing my notes, a new patient file lands on my desk. A new admission is coming up from the emergency department. I scan the first page. Female, 28 years old. Diagnosis: borderline personality disorder and severe substance use disorder. The notes from the ER doctor are brief but potent. History of splitting staff, self-harm, and extreme emotional lability. I feel a familiar knot tighten in my stomach. This is going to be a challenging case. It's one thing to manage psychosis or depression. It's another thing entirely to navigate the intense, often chaotic interpersonal dynamics that come with a severe personality disorder. It requires a different kind of nursing, a different kind of strength. It requires boundaries of steel. And just like that, another plate is added to the ones already spinning. The sleeping crisis, the silent crisis, and now the storm that's on its way. I take a sip of my now cold coffee and get ready to meet her. I walk towards the room, the chart in my hand feeling heavier than it should. It's thin. That's always a bad sign. A thin chart for a new admission means things escalated fast. No long, documented history of slow decline. This was a wildfire, not a slow burn. The notes from the ER are sparse, written in the frantic shorthand of a department that's just trying to stabilize and transfer. Agitated, pressured speech, grandiose delusions, poor insight. It's a clinical paint-by numbers of a full-blown manic episode. The door to her room is slightly ajar. I can already hear her. It's not yelling, not yet. It's a low, continuous hum of words, a river of language flowing so fast the syllables blur together. I push the door open, and there's the storm. She's young, maybe 20. She couldn't weigh more than 100 pounds, but she fills the entire room. Her energy is a physical force, a vibration in the air. The walls, the floor, the bedsheets, they're all her canvas. She's been using a tube of lipstick and a pen she must have smuggled in to draw elaborate, swirling patterns and symbols on every available surface. They look like galaxies and spiderwebs and circuit boards all crashing into each other. In the center of it all, she's sitting cross-legged on the floor, her back ramrod straight, her eyes wide and electric. They lock onto me the second I step inside. There's no surprise, no fear. It's like she was expecting me. "Finally," she says, her voice a little hoarse from the constant talking. "The emissary has arrived. I was told you'd be the one. They said you have the key. Did you bring it?" The frequency is shifting and we don't have much time before the signal collapses. This is the tightrope. My first words to her will set the tone for everything that follows. If I come in too authoritative, I'm the enemy, part of the conspiracy. Too soft and she'll walk all over me. I need to be a calm, unmovable object in the path of her hurricane. I don't look at the drawings on the wall, not yet. I don't comment on her words. I just look at her. I give her a small, gentle smile. "My name is Alex. I'm going to be your nurse today. It looks like you've been incredibly busy in here." My voice is intentionally low and slow. It's a technique we use. You don't try to shout over the mania. You provide an anchor of calm. You try to tether their speeding train of thought to something solid, even for a second. She laughs, a sound that's both exhilarating and terrifying. "Busy? No. This isn't busy. This is transcribing. I'm a receiver. The universe is broadcasting the blueprint for the new consciousness, and I'm the only one with the right antenna." She taps her temple. "It's coming in so fast. It's beautiful. And it hurts." There it is. The first crack. It hurts. Mania isn't euphoria. That's the biggest misconception. It's not a fun, energetic high. It's a state of profound psychic pain and terror that the brain papers over with a thin, crackling layer of grandiosity and frantic energy. The mind is screaming, and to drown out the noise, it creates a symphony of chaos. My job is to listen for the scream underneath the music. "Tell me what hurts," I say, taking a slow step into the room. I don't sit. I don't stand over her. I crouch down, bringing myself to her level but keeping a safe distance. It's a posture of non-aggression. I'm not here to control you. I'm here to help. Her eyes narrow. The storm is calculating. "You're trying to use the tricks, aren't you?" The soft voice. The open-ended questions. "It won't work. I've read the books. I see the code in your movements. You're trying to box me in, but I'm bigger than this box. I'm bigger than this whole building." She's right. She's smart. That's the other thing about mania. It can sharpen certain parts of the intellect into a razor's edge. She's reading my body language, my therapeutic intent. She's deconstructing my strategy in real time. This is where you have to throw the book away. This isn't about a script. It's about a connection. "You're absolutely right," I say, and I mean it. I am using techniques because I'm trying to understand what's happening with you. And frankly, because I'm a little out of my depth here. I've never seen anyone create something like this. I gesture to the walls. It's overwhelming. I can only imagine how overwhelming it must be to have all of this inside your head. Her expression flickers. For a nanosecond, the grandiosity is replaced by confusion, surprise. I didn't challenge her. I didn't argue. I validated her reality, the reality that she is intelligent enough to see what I'm doing. And then I validated the feeling behind the chaos, the feeling of being overwhelmed. She breaks eye contact for the first time, looking down at her hands, which are stained red with lipstick. "They won't stop," she whispers. "The pictures. The words. If I stop drawing them, my head is going to pop." She looks back at me, and for the first time I see the sheer abject terror in her eyes. The 20-year-old girl is in there, and she is drowning. "Okay," I say, keeping my voice just as quiet. "Okay, we don't want that to happen. Let's work with that. What if we just slowed it down? Not stop, just slow it down. So your head doesn't have to pop." "How?" The question is a raw plea. This is the moment. The doors open a crack. I have to offer something, a tangible action. "I have a sketchbook," I lie. "A big one with good paper. Much better than these walls. And some colored pencils. Real artist stuff. What if we got all this important information down in one place? In the book. We could organize it. Give it the respect it deserves." I'm not dismissing her reality. I'm entering it. I'm giving her delusion a structure, a container. The goal isn't to argue with the belief that she's transcribing the universe. The goal is to channel the destructive, chaotic behavior into something focused and safe. If I can get her to sit and draw in a book, she's not smearing lipstick on the walls. If she's focused on one page, her thoughts might slow down from 100 miles an hour to 80. It's not a cure. It's a brake pedal. She watches me, her head tilted. The engine is still revving. I can see it in the slight tremor of her hands, the way her leg is bouncing. But she's listening. "What kind of pencils?" she asks. "All of them," I reply. "Every color you can imagine." She considers this for a long silent moment. The hum of her constant talking has stopped. The silence in the room is deafening. Feels more fragile than glass. I don't breathe. I don't move. I just wait. "Okay," she says finally. "Bring the book. But if this is a trick, the emissary will know. And the signal will be lost for good." "No tricks," I say, standing up slowly. "Let me go get them. I'll be right back." I back out of the room, never turning my back on her, and gently pull the door closed. I lean against the wall in the hallway, and for the first time I let out the breath I was holding. My own heart is hammering against my ribs. That was 10 minutes. Felt like an hour. I don't actually have a sketchbook or a pristine set of colored pencils, but our activities therapist does. I head for the supply closet, my mind racing. I have a connection. It's a tiny frayed thread, but it's there. I managed to put a single anchor down in the middle of her storm. For now, she's not a risk of harm to herself or others. She's a girl who is waiting for some colored pencils. It's a small victory, but in here you learn to measure success in millimeters. The war for her sanity will be a long, brutal campaign fought with medication, therapy, and time. But today, right now, the battle was won with a promise of paper and a little bit of respect. Now I just have to deliver. The nurse's station is an island of controlled chaos in a sea of unpredictable currents. Finding a single sheet of blank paper here should be simple. It's not. I rummage through drawers filled with stray rubber bands, half-empty vials of saline flush, and triplicate forms for procedures that haven't been used in a decade. Every drawer is a time capsule of bureaucratic neglect. The supply closet is even worse. A graveyard of expired dressings and mismatched EKG leads. No paper. No crayons. It's a small thing, a ridiculous quest, but a promise is a promise, and in this world, a promise is one of the few currencies that still holds its value. It's the bedrock of trust. Break it over something as small as a piece of paper, and you might as well tell the patient you don't care, because that's all they'll hear. As I'm about to cannibalize the back of an old discharge summary, a sound cuts through the low hum of the unit. It's not a scream of terror or a cry of pain. It's a booming operatic baritone singing an aria from an opera I can't quite place, but it's loud, it's off-key, and it's coming from the day room. That would be David. David is a 48-year-old former software architect. He's also in the throes of a spectacular manic episode. When he's stable, he's one of the most brilliant, gentle people you'll ever meet. He can talk you through the intricacies of quantum computing, and then, in the next breath, explain the migratory patterns of the monarch butterfly. But when the mania hits, that brilliant mind becomes a runaway freight train. The connections fire too fast, the thoughts move too quickly, and the world can't keep up. For him right now, sleep is a suggestion, not a necessity. Food is an afterthought. His reality is a grand, cosmic symphony, and he is the conductor, the composer, and the entire first violin section. I walk into the day room. A few other patients are plastered against the walls, looking like shipwreck survivors clinging to driftwood. In the center of the room, David stands on a plastic chair, one arm raised to the heavens, conducting an invisible orchestra only he can hear. He's wearing a hospital gown like a Roman toga. "David," I say, keeping my voice calm and even. "You don't shout at a hurricane. You respect its power and try to guide it toward open water." "Maestro," he bellows, not missing a beat. He points at me with a flourish. "You're just in time. The board of directors is about to approve my new venture. We are going to harness the kinetic energy of the Earth's rotation to power the entire North American continent. No more fossil fuels. No more war for oil. Just pure, clean planetary energy. I've already drafted the patents in my mind. This is the seductive, tragic nature of mania. The ideas feel world-changing. The energy feels limitless. To an outsider, it's chaos. To the person inside it, it's pure, exhilarating clarity. My job isn't to tell him he's wrong. Arguing with the delusion is like trying to punch the wind. You'll just exhaust yourself and look foolish. My job is to join his reality, just for a moment, and then gently steer him back toward shore. "David, that's a fascinating idea," I say, taking a slow step closer. "A project of that magnitude must require incredible focus. The calculations alone must be staggering." He beams, his eyes electric. "Staggering? But they're flawless. I've solved for the Coriolis effect and everything. It's all up here. He taps his temple. I believe you, I say, and I mean it. The potential is in there, buried under an avalanche of misfiring synapses. But David, a CEO with a project this big, can't be conducting business from a plastic chair in a hospital gown. The investors are going to want to see you in your office. We need to get you ready for the big meeting. I'm validating the grandiosity while reframing the immediate goal. I'm not saying, you're sick, get down. I'm saying, you're important, let's act like it. He pauses his conducting, considering my words. The train of thought is so fast that any new input can send it careening down a different track. This is my opening. My office? He asks, a flicker of confusion in his eyes. Yes. For now, your room is your corner office. Let's go review the plans. And we should probably get you into some more appropriate business attire. I gesture toward his gown. We'll start with some breakfast. The most successful people in the world always start their day with a solid meal. It's a therapeutic fib, a gentle redirection. I'm translating medical needs. Take your meds, eat some food, get out of the common area, into the language of his manic reality. He thinks for a second, the cogs of his hyper-accelerated mind spinning. Then he nods, a slow, deliberate motion. You're right. You're absolutely right. Image is everything. Lead the way, my friend. We have a planet to save. He steps down from the chair with the exaggerated grace of a stage actor. I walk with him, shoulder to shoulder, down the hall, my arm not quite touching his but close enough to provide a steadying presence. I'm matching his pace, which is brisk and purposeful. As we walk, I'm talking, keeping the verbal channel open, giving his racing mind something to latch onto. I ask him about the patents, about the materials he'd need, about the board of directors. I'm not indulging the delusion so much as I am containing it, funneling that massive, chaotic energy into a single, less disruptive stream. We get him to his room. A tech is there, and I quietly ask him to grab David's breakfast tray. While we wait, I open David's medication drawer. His morning dose of lithium and an antipsychotic sit there in a little paper cup. This is the crux of the entire interaction. Getting a manic patient to willingly take medication that they believe will stifle their genius is one of the hardest things we do. Okay, Mr. CEO. I say, my tone light but firm. Before the big meeting, your executive team, that's me and the doctors, we have a new performance-enhancing supplement for you. It's designed to increase focus and filter out distractions, so you can really zero in on the planetary energy project. He looks at the pills with suspicion. I don't need supplements. My mind has never been clearer. I know, I say. But think of it like an athlete. Michael Jordan still had a coach. A brilliant mind like yours deserves the best support system. This just tunes the instrument. It doesn't change the music. He picks up the cup, staring at the pills. The internal battle is visible on his face. Part of him knows he's unwell. Part of him is terrified of losing the intoxicating high of the mania. It's a terrible choice. To feel brilliant and powerful but be utterly disconnected from reality, or to be stable, grounded but feel ordinary. After a moment that feels like an eternity, he swallows the pills with a gulp of water. A small victory, but a crucial one. The tech arrives with his breakfast, and David, now fully committed to his role as a CEO preparing for a big day, begins to eat. The storm has been downgraded to a tropical depression. He's safe. The other patients are safe. I can step away. And as I walk out of his room, the adrenaline from the encounter begins to fade, and my original mission comes flooding back. Maria, the paper, the crayons. Feels like it was a lifetime ago. I just navigated the complex, explosive world of a brilliant mind on fire, using psychology and carefully chosen words as my only tools. And now I'm back to hunting for office supplies. This is the job. Shifting from cosmic to mundane, from psychiatrist to supply clerk, from de-escalation to simple delivery. I finally find a small stack of printer paper in the bottom drawer of an unused filing cabinet, tucked behind a thick binder of safety protocols from 2003. And in the rec room, I find a communal box of art supplies. Most of the crayons are broken, the markers are dried out, but I managed to find a handful of crayon nubs. A red, a blue, a green, a yellow. It's not a full palette, but it's a start. Something. Walking back towards Maria's room, the broken crayon pieces feel heavy in my pocket. I just convinced a man that lithium was a cognitive enhancer to save him from himself. Now I'm about to give a grieving, shattered woman a piece of paper and a few stubs of wax. I have no idea if it will work. I don't know if this tiny gesture can even begin to penetrate the thick, soundproof walls of her depression. But in this place, you have to believe in the small things. You have to believe that sometimes a promise kept is its own form of medicine. The echo of that promise hangs in the air as I walk away from her room, a quiet counterpoint to the rising hum of the unit. Mid-morning is when the ward truly comes alive. The initial sedative effects of nighttime medications have worn off. Breakfast has been digested, and the raw, unfiltered reality of why people are here begins to surface. My next stop is the day room for group therapy. This is, in many ways, the heart of the unit. It's a crucible. It's where healing is forged in the often painful friction of human interaction, and it's where things can go sideways fast. The room is a circle of mismatched chairs. Sunlight, thick with dust motes, streams through the reinforced window, painting a deceptively peaceful square on the linoleum floor. The patients file in, each a walking testament to a different battle. There's a young man, let's call him Michael, who carries his schizophrenia like an invisible, heavy coat, his eyes perpetually fixed on a point just over my left shoulder. There's Sarah, a grandmother whose anxiety has become so severe she hasn't left her house in a year until her family brought her here. She grips the arms of her chair so hard her knuckles are white. And then there's Alex. Alex is the sun. And the storm. He's in his late 20s, handsome, intelligent, and in the full unbridled throes of a manic episode. Bipolar 1. When he's stable, he's a brilliant graphic designer. When he's manic, he's a force of nature. He doesn't walk into the room. He bursts into it, a supernova of energy. All right, people, let's rock and roll. The doctor of vibes is in the house, he announces, flashing a grin that could power a small city. He's wearing 3 t-shirts, one on top of the other, each a progressively louder color. His speech is a runaway train, fast, loud, jumping from one topic to the next with a logic only he can follow. This is what we call a flight of ideas. I was up all night, by the way, he continues, not waiting for a response. Cracked the code. The entire stock market. It's all based on Fibonacci sequences mixed with tidal patterns. I wrote it all down on like 100 napkins. We're all gonna be rich. I mean, after we solve world hunger, which I also figured out. It's about kelp. Genetically modified, super nutritious kelp. We just need a submarine and a venture capitalist. I'm thinking Elon Musk, but he's too focused on Mars. Big mistake. The real frontier isn't up there. It's down here. He gestures around the room at all of us. Sarah flinches at his volume. Michael seems to shrink further into his invisible coat. My co-facilitator, a social worker named David, gives me a subtle look. It's the look that says, strap in. My job in this moment is incredibly delicate. I'm a navigator in a hurricane. I can't just shut Alex down. His mania is a symptom of his illness, not a character flaw. To him, these ideas are brilliant, profound, and absolutely real. His self-esteem, his entire sense of self at this moment, is tied to this grandiosity. If I challenge him directly, if I say, Alex, that's not realistic, he'll feel attacked. He could become irritable, agitated, even aggressive. The therapeutic alliance I've spent days building with him would shatter. More importantly, the fragile sense of safety in this room, which is essential for people like Sarah to even speak, would evaporate. So, I have to validate the feeling, not the content. Alex, it sounds like you have a ton of incredible energy today. I start, my voice calm and even. And you've been thinking about some really big, important ideas. That's amazing. Can we borrow just a little bit of that amazing brain power for our topic today? It's a technique of redirection. A verbal aikido. I'm not blocking his energy. I'm trying to move with it and guide it in a safer direction. He pauses, considering my offer. His leg is bouncing a frantic rhythm against the floor. Okay, I can dig it. What's the topic? Is it astrophysics? The meaning of consciousness? Because I have some thoughts on that too. Even better, David, my co-facilitator, chimes in smoothly. It's about setting one small, achievable goal for the rest of the day. The deflation in Alex's face is instantaneous. It's like watching a hot air balloon spring a leak. A small goal? A small goal? Are you kidding me? We're talking about curing famine with seaweed and you want me to talk about, I don't know, flossing? That's an insult to my intelligence. The storm is changing direction. The bright, infectious mania is darkening at the edges, turning into irritability. This is the pivot point. This is where a nurse earns their paycheck. My heart rate kicks up a notch, but my expression and voice have to remain a flat, calm C. It's not an insult, Alex, I say gently. It's the opposite. Big ideas are built on small steps. The guy who built the Empire State Building had to start by figuring out where to put the first brick. What's our first brick for today? I'm trying to reframe it to make the small goal feel like a part of his grand plan, not a contradiction to it. But his manic brain is too fast for that. It's already moved on, already identified a new target. He turns to Sarah, the anxious grandmother who has been silent the whole time. "What about you?" he asks, his voice still too loud. "What's your goal? To maybe stop looking like you're about to be executed? Lighten up. Life's a party." Sarah visibly recoils. Her eyes well up with tears. And just like that, the therapeutic space is broken. A patient's symptom has just harmed another patient. My primary responsibility now shifts from managing Alex to protecting Sarah. "Alex," I say, my voice a little firmer now. Not angry, but with an undeniable edge of authority. "That wasn't helpful. We're here to support each other, and that comment didn't do that. I need you to apologize to Sarah." His eyes flash with anger. The charming, charismatic visionary is gone. In his place is a cornered animal. Apologize? For what? For telling the truth? This whole "let's talk about our feelings" thing is garbage. We need action. We need a revolution. Not sitting in a circle crying about our goals. He stands up. The energy in the room shifts from tense to dangerous. Michael is now actively rocking back and forth. Sarah is openly crying. The other patients are frozen, watching me. They're looking to see who's in charge. They're looking to see if they're safe. In this moment, I am their anchor, their riot shield, their lighthouse. If I look scared, they will be terrified. My training kicks in. My mind is a flurry of protocols and de-escalation tactics, but on the outside, I am calm. I stand up slowly, not to challenge him, but to meet him on his level. I keep my hands open and visible. I maintain eye contact, but it's not a stare down. It's a message. I see you. I'm not afraid. And I am in control of this space. No one is crying about their goals, Alex. I say, my voice low and steady. But Sarah is crying because your words hurt her. And this room is supposed to be a safe place. I know you know that. I know you don't want to hurt anyone. I'm appealing to the part of him that's still in there. The intelligent, caring person buried under the tidal wave of neurotransmitters. I'm giving him an out, a way to de-escalate without losing face. It's a gamble. He could lash out, flip a chair, start screaming. The unit's overhead security code, the one that summons a team of psychiatric technicians for a show of force, is a thought at the very back of my mind. But that's the absolute last resort. Because the moment you go hands-on, the moment you use force, you've broken something. You've replaced therapy with control. Alex stares at me, his chest heaving. The seconds stretch out, thick and heavy. The entire room holds its breath. His jaw is clenched, a muscle twitching in his cheek. He looks from me to Sarah's crying face, and for a fleeting, almost imperceptible moment, a flicker of something else crosses his face. Confusion. Maybe even regret. The storm inside him is still raging, but for a split second, the pilot is back at the controls. That's my window. The crack in the armor. It's not about winning a fight. It's about finding the person lost inside the hurricane. I take a slow, deliberate step forward, keeping my hands open and visible at my sides. My voice, when it comes out, is a few octaves lower than normal, intentionally calm. A stark contrast to the chaos in the air. "David, I see how scared you are. That must be terrifying." I don't say, "They aren't real." I don't say, "You're safe." Because right now, in his world, he isn't. His reality is just as valid to him as mine is to me. To deny his reality is to deny him. And that just builds the wall higher. The only way through is to validate the feeling, not the delusion. The feeling is fear. Pure, unadulterated terror. That's the common ground. That's the starting point. His eyes, which were darting around the room, lock onto mine. The wildness is still there, but it's focused now. He's listening. Sarah, to her credit, stays silent, a statue of tear-streaked fear, understanding that this is a delicate dance and I am leading. I can't imagine how exhausting it must be. I continue, taking another half step, feeling like you have to fight all the time. Hearing those things, seeing them, it sounds overwhelming. I'm not agreeing with him. I'm empathizing. It's a crucial difference. I'm holding up a mirror to his emotional state, showing him that I see it, that I'm not dismissing it. He's used to being dismissed. He's used to people telling him he's crazy. He's not used to being understood. His chest is still heaving, but the rhythm is changing. The frantic, shallow gasps are starting to deepen, just slightly. The knuckles on his clenched fists are a little less white. They won't stop, he rasps, his voice cracking. It's the first thing he said that isn't a yell. It's a plea. I know, I say softly. And I want to help with that. I can't make them go away forever right this second, but I can help you turn the volume down. I can help you get some peace right now. This is the pivot. We've established a connection, a fragile thread of therapeutic alliance in the middle of a psychic war zone. Now I have to offer a solution, a tool. I have some medication that can help with the noise. It's not to knock you out, David. It's not to control you. It's a tool for you to use, to help you feel safe, to give your mind a chance to rest, just for a little while. This is what we call a PRN, from the Latin pro re nata, meaning as the situation demands or simply, as needed. It's one of the most misunderstood aspects of what we do. People see it as a chemical restraint, a way to subdue a difficult patient. And in the wrong hands it can be. But used therapeutically, it's a life raft. It's an offering of relief when a patient is drowning in their own symptoms, when their own coping mechanisms have been completely overwhelmed. The goal isn't sedation, it's restoration. We're trying to restore their ability to feel safe in their own skin. David's eyes narrow. The suspicion is back. You want to drug me? Like them? No, I say, my voice firm but steady. I want to help you. The choice is completely yours. You are in control here. But I am offering you a way to feel better. A way to get some quiet from the storm. You look exhausted from the fight, David. You deserve a moment of peace. I let the words hang in the air. I've put the power back in his hands. It's his choice. This isn't a command. It's a consultation. He looks from me to Sarah, who gives a tiny, almost imperceptible nod, her eyes pleading with him. He looks down at his own trembling hands, as if seeing them for the first time. He sees the cost of this battle written on his own body. The silence stretches for what feels like an eternity. The hum of the fluorescent lights overhead seems to grow louder. Every person on the unit, staff and patient alike, knows something is happening in this room. The energy of a crisis radiates outward. Finally, he looks up at me, and the fight has gone out of his eyes. All that's left is a profound, soul-crushing weariness. Okay, he whispers. The word is so quiet I almost miss it. Okay. The tension in the room doesn't just dissipate. It vanishes like a balloon that's been popped. I feel my own shoulders, which I didn't even realize were up by my ears, drop a full 2 inches. Sarah lets out a shaky breath that sounds like a sob of relief. I give a clear, calm nod to the tech still standing by the door. Can you grab me David's PRN, please? He disappears instantly. Now is the critical follow-through. I don't just walk away. I stay with David. Thank you for trusting me, David. I say, my voice returning to normal. That was a hard decision, and you made a really good choice for yourself. Let's sit down for a minute while we wait. I gesture to his bed, and he sinks onto it, his body looking like it can no longer support its own weight. I pull the desk chair over and sit a few feet away, not crowding him but staying present. Sarah slowly sits on the other side of the bed, tentatively reaching out and placing her hand on his back. He doesn't flinch. He leans into her touch. When the tech returns, he hands me a small paper cup with 2 pills and another with water. I approach David slowly. Here you go, David. Just as we discussed. I hand them to him, and he takes them without hesitation, his hands still shaking. He swallows them, and the act feels monumental. It's an act of trust. An act of surrender, not to me but to the possibility of feeling better. All right, I say, standing up. That will start to help in about 30 or 40 minutes. It's going to help you feel calmer, and you might feel a bit sleepy. That's okay. Your body and your mind need the rest. I'm going to be checking in on you frequently, okay? Is there anything you need right now? He just shakes his head, his eyes already looking distant, glassy. He's retreating inward, but this time it's not a retreat into paranoia, but into a desperately needed state of rest. I give Sarah a reassuring look, and she mouths thank you to me. I nod, then step out of the room, pulling the door mostly closed but leaving it cracked open. The hallway feels strangely normal. Other patients are milling about. The TV is on in the day room. It's a classic case of emotional whiplash. I just went from a potential full-blown physical crisis to a moment of quiet therapeutic success in the span of 10 minutes. My heart is still hammering against my ribs from the adrenaline, but my mind is already moving on. I walk to the nurse's station, my hands feeling a little shaky. I take a deep breath, letting it out slowly. That was a win. A small one, but a win nonetheless. We kept the patient safe. We kept the staff safe. We kept his visitor safe. And most importantly, we did it with the lowest level of intervention possible. We used our words, not our hands. We built a bridge, we didn't burn one. But these wins take a toll. It's a constant tightrope walk, and you can't afford to look down. Pick up his chart. Every single detail of that interaction now has to be documented. The patient's behavior, the escalation, the specific de-escalation techniques used, the offering of the PRN medication, his verbal consent, the rationale behind the intervention, the outcome, the plan for follow-up. The legal and medical record has to be as precise and objective as a surgeon's report. Because in this field, your words are your most powerful tool, but your documentation is your ultimate shield. And as I start to write, my phone buzzes in my pocket. It's an alert from the front desk. A new admission is on their way. The day is far from over. The buzz of the phone snaps me out of my charting focus. It's not a text from a friend, it's a heads up from the unit clerk. The new admission isn't just on their way, they're 5 minutes out. My mind immediately shifts gears from documentation to preparation. The report from the emergency department is brief, almost cryptic, which is common. You learn to read between the lines. 20-year-old male, Leo, brought in by campus police from his dorm room. First psychotic break. Exhibiting paranoid delusions, disorganized speech. No known history. Medically cleared. First break. Those two words hang in the air. They represent a terrifying turning point in a young person's life. This isn't a patient who knows the system, who has a long-established diagnosis. This is someone whose entire world just shattered, likely without warning. His family's world, too. I grab one of our mental health techs, a guy named Marcus who has a calming presence that could soothe a grizzly bear. New admission, room 112. Let's get it ready. We walk to the room. It's Spartan by design. A bed bolted to the floor, a small desk and chair also bolted down. No pictures on the walls, no loose cords, no glass. We do a quick sweep, checking for anything a previous patient might have left behind, ensuring every safety feature is in place. This isn't about creating a prison. It's about creating a sanctuary. A place where someone at war with their own mind can't hurt themselves. We hear the sound of the main unit door buzzing open. This is it. I take a deep breath, smooth my scrubs, and put on what I call my neutral face. Calm, open, non-threatening. When Leo walks onto the unit, flanked by 2 security guards, he looks less like a threat and more like a terrified kid. He's tall and lanky, swallowed by a university hoodie, his eyes wide and darting around the hallway, trying to process everything at once. He's taking in the locked doors, the other patients, the nurse's station behind its thick pane of plexiglass. To him, this must look like the set of a horror movie. My first job is to change that perception. I walk towards him, making sure my hands are visible and my movements are slow. "Hi, Leo," I say, my voice soft. "My name is your name. And I'm going to be one of the nurses taking care of you. I know this is a really confusing and probably scary place to be. We're just here to help you feel safe." He doesn't respond. He just stares at a spot on the wall behind my head, his jaw clenched. The security guards step back, and Marcus and I guide him gently towards a private intake room. The first thing we have to do is one of the most awkward and delicate parts of any admission: the safety check. I explain it to him directly and honestly. "Leo, before we can get you settled into your room, we need to make sure you don't have anything on you that could be harmful to you or to anyone else. It's standard procedure for everyone who comes in. We'll give you some comfortable hospital clothes to change into, and we'll put your belongings in a locker for you." He flinches when I say belongings. His paranoia is a fortress, and I'm asking him to lower the drawbridge. He clutches the small backpack he's carrying. "They can't have it," he mutters, his voice raspy. "It's the only thing that's safe. This is the first test." I could insist, let security handle it, and start our relationship with a power struggle. Or I can try to build a bridge. I pull up a chair and sit so I'm at his eye level. "I understand," I say. "It sounds like that backpack is really important to you. Can you tell me why it needs to be kept safe?" He looks at me for the first time, his eyes searching mine for deceit. "It has the proof," he whispers. "The signals. They're trying to erase me. The proof is in there." Instead of arguing with the delusion, I join him in his reality just for a moment. Okay, it's our job to keep you safe, and that also means keeping your important things safe. How about this? We can go through the backpack together right here. You and me. We'll make a list of every single item, and then we'll put it in a locked safe. You'll have the list and I'll have the list. That way, we both know the proof is protected. He hesitates, his mind racing, weighing the options his illness is presenting to him. After a long, tense silence, he gives a tiny, almost imperceptible nod. It's a small victory, but it's everything. Together, we carefully empty the backpack. It's filled with notebooks of frantic, overlapping writing, printouts of conspiracy theories from the internet, and a dozen cheap prepaid cell phones, all disassembled. We also find a half-eaten bag of chips and a student ID that shows a smiling, bright-eyed kid who looks nothing like the haunted young man in front of me. As we inventory each item, I'm not just looking for contraband. I'm looking for clues. The notebooks tell me his thoughts are disorganized. The phones suggest intense paranoia. The student ID tells me who he was before this happened. Once his belongings are secured, we do a physical check. I explain every step. I check his blood pressure, his pulse. I use a stethoscope to listen to his heart and lungs. I'm looking for any medical reason that could be causing these symptoms. A tumor, an infection, a metabolic disorder. I also have to do a skin check, looking for any signs of self-harm, old scars, track marks from drug use, or injuries he might not even be aware he has. It's an intimate and vulnerable process, and I narrate it in a calm, clinical, respectful tone. I'm trying to show him through my actions that this is a place of care, not punishment. Throughout this, I'm asking him questions. The formal mental status exam. Leo, can you tell me where you are right now? A holding facility, he says. Close enough. Do you know what the date is? He shakes his head. They changed the time in here. Okay. Can you tell me what's been happening that led you to the hospital? And that's when the dam breaks. He starts talking, the words pouring out in a torrent of paranoid logic. He tells me his professors are government agents, that they've been sending him coded messages through his textbooks, that his roommate is a spy who planted listening devices in his lamps. He believes he's a target because he figured out the pattern. My job isn't to tell him he's wrong. Telling a psychotic person their firmly held belief is false is like telling someone the sky isn't blue. It just makes you part of the conspiracy. My job is to listen, to validate the feeling, not the content. That sounds absolutely terrifying, Leo, I say. To feel like you can't trust anyone, and that people are trying to hurt you must be exhausting. For a split second, the fear in his eyes is replaced by a flicker of relief, the relief of being heard. After an hour, the initial admission is complete. I've gathered the data, built the first fragile thread of a therapeutic alliance, and gotten him settled in his room with a tray of food he eyes with deep suspicion. My head is swimming with information that I now need to synthesize into a coherent nursing plan. I have to call the on-call psychiatrist, give a detailed report, and get initial orders for medication, something to help him calm down, to quiet the storm in his mind so he can get some rest. I sit down at the computer, my fingers poised over the keyboard, ready to document this whirlwind of an encounter. The story of a young man at a crossroads, a story filled with fear and confusion. I feel a profound sense of responsibility for him. In this moment, I am his anchor to reality, his primary protector. As I begin to type, the unit clerk flags me down. Line 2, she says. It's Leo's parents. They're calling from out of state. They just found a note in his dorm room. I take a deep breath, steeling myself, and pick up the receiver. The plastic feels cold against my ear. My voice is steady, a practiced calm I don't entirely feel. This is the psychiatric unit. You're speaking with the nurse. The voice that comes back is a woman's, thin and frayed, stretched taut over a chasm of panic. My son, she says, her words catching. His name is Leo. His roommate called us. He said Leo was taken to the hospital. We found a letter. Is he there with you? Her voice cracks on the last word, and in the background, I can hear a man's muffled sob. The sound of a parent's fear is universal. It's a raw, primal frequency that cuts through all professional composure. This is one of the most difficult parts of my job. I have a young man in my care who is a danger to himself, and on the other end of this line are two people drowning in a sea of terror and guilt, grasping for any piece of information. But I can't just tell them. Leo is 20 years old. He is a legal adult. His privacy, his medical information, is protected by a federal law known as HIPAA. To a parent in this situation, that law feels like a cruel bureaucratic wall. But from my side of the desk, it's a fundamental right that protects a patient's autonomy, even when their mind is in turmoil. I can't confirm or deny that Leo is even in the hospital, let alone on my unit, without his explicit consent. Ma'am, I understand this is an incredibly difficult call for you to make. I begin, choosing my words with surgical precision. For patient privacy reasons, I can't share any information over the phone. What I can do is I can take your name and number. If the person you're trying to reach is here and is willing to speak with you, we can have them call you back. It sounds so cold, so corporate. I hate saying it. I can hear her sharp intake of breath, a gasp of frustration and disbelief. But we're his parents. We just found a suicide note. You have to tell us if he's alive. The man takes the phone. His voice is deeper, but it's trembling with the same desperate energy. Please, he begs. We're 1,000 miles away. We can get on a plane right now. We just need to know if we should be flying to a hospital or a morgue. That word hangs in the air between us. Morgue. It's the unspoken fear that fuels every syllable they've uttered. My heart aches for them. I want to rip the protocol to shreds and just tell them, yes, he's here. He's alive. He's safe right now. But I can't. Breaking that trust, even with the best intentions, can cause irreparable damage to the therapeutic relationship I need to build with Leo. If he feels I've betrayed his confidence, he'll shut down completely, and I might lose the very connection that could save his life. Sir, I hear the fear in your voice, and I want you to know that I am listening. I say, my tone softening. I am going to do everything I can within the legal and ethical boundaries of my profession to help. Please give me your names and a contact number. Let me see what I can do. There's a long, heavy silence. I can picture them on the other end, huddled over a phone in their kitchen or living room, a crumpled piece of paper. Their son's final words, sitting on the table between them. Finally, the father recites their names and number. His voice is hollow, defeated. I write it down, my own hand surprisingly steady. Thank you, I say. I will do what I can. I hang up the phone, and the silence of the nurse's station feels deafening. Now comes the next delicate dance. I walk out of the station and scan the day room. Leo is sitting in the same chair, still staring at the wall, but his posture has changed. He's no longer rigid. He's slumped, deflated, as if the energy required for his earlier paranoia has been completely spent. I pull a chair up and sit at an angle to him, not facing him directly, which can feel confrontational. Leo, I say softly. He doesn't look at me, but his eyes flicker, a tiny acknowledgement that he hears me. I have a message for you. Your parents called. They're very worried about you. They found a note you left, and they've asked to speak with you. His head snaps toward me. The fear is back in his eyes, but it's different now. It's not the fear of unseen forces. It's the fear of being seen. The fear of shame. They know, he whispers, his voice raspy. I didn't want them to know. They'll be ashamed. They'll be so angry. This is a common distortion. In the depths of depression, a person can believe their family would be better off without them, that their struggles are a burden, that love will be replaced by anger or disappointment. Leo, I say, keeping my voice even and calm. From what I heard on the phone, they're not angry. They're terrified. They love you and they want to know that you're okay. They're asking for your permission for me to talk to them. They want to know if you're willing to talk to them yourself. He looks away, staring down at his hands, which are trembling in his lap. What would you tell them? He asks, his voice barely audible. I tell them that you are in a safe place, and that you are receiving care. I would explain the visiting hours and the unit's policies. I would answer their questions as best I could without sharing the private details of our conversations, unless you specifically ask me to. I'm laying it all out. No tricks, no manipulation. He needs to be in control. It's his story, his life, his family. He needs to feel he has agency over something, especially now. He's quiet for what feels like an eternity. I can hear the distant murmur of the TV, the squeak of another nurse's shoes down the hall. Everything hinges on his answer. Family involvement can be a powerful catalyst for recovery, but forcing it can be a disaster. Finally, he gives a small, almost imperceptible nod. You can talk to them, he says. But I don't want to. Not yet. It's too much. Okay, Leo. That's perfectly okay. I say, a wave of relief washing over me. Thank you for trusting me with that. I give him a moment, then ask, Is there anything you want me to tell them for you? He thinks about it, then shakes his head. Just tell them I'm okay. I stand up, giving his shoulder a gentle, brief touch. I can do that. I walk back to the nurse's station, the weight of the last 10 minutes settling on me. I dial the number. The father answers on the first ring. Hello, he says, his voice laced with breathless anxiety. This is the nurse from the hospital again. I begin. I'm calling with permission from your son Leo. He is here and he is safe. I hear a choke sound, a strangled sob of pure unadulterated relief. The mother comes on the line. Oh, thank God, she weeps. Thank you, thank you. Is he hurt? Did he do something? For the next 15 minutes, I am not just a nurse. I am a translator, a guide, and a shock absorber. I translate the terrifying unknown into a manageable process. I explain that he is medically stable, that he is on a new patient safety watch, that he will be seeing a psychiatrist in the morning. I don't use jargon like suicidal ideation or psychotic features. I say, he's struggling with some very painful thoughts, and our first priority is to keep him safe while we help him understand what's happening. I absorb their guilt, their frantic "what did we do wrong?" questions, and I gently guide them away from blame and toward proactive support. I tell them about visiting hours, what they can and can't bring onto the unit, and I manage their expectations. No, this won't be fixed overnight. Yes, it is a long road. But the journey has begun, and he is no longer on it alone. By the time I hang up, they are still crying, but the tears are of relief, not terror. They are making plans to fly in tomorrow. I feel a profound sense of purpose. This single phone call might be the most important intervention I perform all day. It's the first stitch in reweaving a family's safety net. A net that Leo felt had torn completely. I lean back in my chair, taking a single deep breath, and start my documentation. Leo, 20 years old. Admitted for. Before I can finish the thought, a high-pitched, piercing alarm blares through the unit. It's the personal alarm on a staff member. I'm out of my chair in a second, my heart pounding again for an entirely new reason. The call is over. The next crisis is already here. My feet are moving before my brain has fully processed the sound. It's a distinct electronic shriek that cuts through everything. A staff assault alarm. It's not a fire drill, not a medical code for a fall or a seizure. It's the one alarm that means a colleague is in immediate physical danger. We call it a code gray. My mind races, cataloging the unit. Who's on break? Where is everyone? Who is most vulnerable? The sound is coming from the West Wing, the quieter hall. Or what's supposed to be the quieter hall. I'm not the only one running. 2 mental health techs, both big guys who can look intimidating but are teddy bears 99% of the time, are ahead of me. This is the 1%. Their faces are grim set. The charge nurse is right behind me, grabbing the code phone as she runs, already coordinating a response, clearing the halls. Every second is a lifetime. Your brain floods with worst-case scenarios. Has someone been taken hostage? Is there a weapon? Is someone down? We round the corner and the scene unfolds in a chaotic tableau. It's David, the patient from earlier, the one who was pacing, agitated about his court date. He's not pacing now. He has a new staff member, a young tech named Kevin who can't be more than 22, cornered in the alcove by the linen closet. David isn't touching him, but he might as well be. He's a wall of rage, his body coiled like a spring, screaming, spittle flying from his mouth. He's holding a plastic water pitcher, not as a weapon, but the way he's gripping it, the plastic creaking under the pressure, it could be won in a second. Kevin is pale, his back pressed flat against the wall, his hand still on the alarm clipped to his belt. He did the right thing. He called for help. The lead tech, Marcus, immediately takes charge of the space. He doesn't rush in. That would be like throwing gasoline on a fire. He stops about 15 feet away, holding his hands up, palms open. A universal sign of, I'm not a threat. His voice is impossibly calm. Hey David. It's Marcus. We heard the alarm. Looks like things are really intense right now. We're just here to make sure everyone is safe. My job is different. I'm not the primary de-escalator. I'm the nurse. I'm assessing. I scan David. Are his pupils dilated? Is he sweating? Is he favoring a side as if injured? Is he responding to internal stimuli, hearing voices? No, his focus is 100% on Kevin. I scan Kevin. Is he bleeding? Is he conscious and alert? He looks terrified but physically unharmed. I scan the environment. The linen closet door is closed. The hallway is clear. There are no chairs, no loose items he can grab. The pitcher is the only variable. I move slowly, deliberately, not towards David but to the side, creating a sort of triangle. I want to draw his attention, to split his focus, to give Kevin a potential escape route if he needs one. I keep my own body language open, my hands visible. David, I say, my voice low and steady. I pitch it just below the level of his yelling. You don't try to shout over them. You create a pocket of calm they have to lean into to hear. I can see how angry you are. Something has happened to make you feel this way. Can you tell me what it is? He doesn't even look at me. His eyes are locked on Kevin. He was laughing at me. He thinks this is a joke. My whole life is falling apart and he's laughing. His voice cracks with a raw, primal pain. This is the key. The anger isn't the primary emotion. It's the shield. Underneath it is terror, humiliation, despair. The anger is just the part that feels powerful. Kevin, still pressed against the wall, shakes his head. I swear I was just smiling about something I saw on my phone before I came on the unit. His voice is shaky. It's the wrong thing to say. It's defensive. It's invalidating what David is feeling, even if David's perception is wrong. In this moment, his perception is his reality. I have to correct course. David, what I hear you saying is that you felt disrespected, that you felt like your pain was being mocked. And that is an awful feeling. I'm not agreeing that Kevin laughed at him. I'm agreeing that the feeling of being mocked is awful. It's a subtle but critical difference. It's validation. It connects me to his emotion, not his version of the facts. For the first time, his eyes flicker towards me. A tiny crack in the armor. Marcus sees it too. He takes a half step forward. No one here thinks what you're going through is a joke, man. We know it's serious. We want to help you. No, you don't. David screams, but there's a fraction less conviction in it now. The dam is starting to break. You just want to lock me up. Give me pills. You don't care. This is my opening. I care, I say, and I pour every ounce of sincerity I have into those two words. I care that you're in so much pain you feel like you have to scream. I care that you're afraid. I want to help you with that. But I can't do that while you're standing here with Kevin. Can you please just take a step back and let's go talk in the quiet room? Just you and me. Let's figure this out. He looks from me to Marcus, back to Kevin. His chest is heaving. The hand holding the pitcher is trembling. You can see the war inside him, the rage that wants to lash out, and the terrified, hurting part of him that just wants help. This is the moment. It can go either way. He could throw the pitcher, he could lunge, or he could fold. He looks at the pitcher in his hand as if seeing it for the first time. With a guttural sob, he drops it. It clatters to the floor, ridiculously loud in the now silent hallway. His whole body sags, the tension leaving him in a rush. He slides down the wall, burying his face in his hands, and begins to weep. Deep, shuddering sobs of a man who has been holding it all together for far too long. The crisis is over. The work is not. Marcus immediately goes to Kevin, speaks to him in a low voice, and walks him away from the scene towards the nurse's station. Another tech quietly picks up the pitcher. The charge nurse is on the phone, likely documenting the code and ensuring the unit is secure. I slowly approach David. I don't touch him. I just sit on the floor a few feet away from him, leaning my own back against the opposite wall. I don't say anything. I just sit there, bearing witness to his grief. For 5 full minutes, the only sound is him crying. When the sobs finally subside into ragged breaths, I speak softly. Thank you, David. That was the right choice. I know that was hard. He won't look at me. His voice is muffled by his hands. I'm sorry. I lost it. I'm so sorry. We'll talk about it, I say. Right now, let's just breathe. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. I do it with him, exaggerating my own breathing so he can hear it. We do this for another minute until his breathing is steady. The adrenaline is draining out of my own body now, leaving behind that familiar, shaky exhaustion. My heart rate is finally returning to normal. Only then do I say, "Are you ready to get up and go to the quiet room now?" He nods, not lifting his head. With the help of another tech, we get him to his feet and guide him to a safe space where he can fully process what just happened, and we can talk about a plan to prevent it from happening again. Later, after I've spent 45 minutes with David, talking him down, exploring his triggers, and administering a PRN medication for his agitation and anxiety, I find Kevin in the break room. He's staring into a cup of coffee. I pull up a chair. "You okay?" He looks up and the bravado is gone. He just looks young and scared. He was so angry. I really thought he was going to hit me. You did everything right. I tell him, and I mean it. You kept your distance. You didn't argue. You hit your alarm. You let the team come in. You did textbook work, Kevin. He nods, but he's still shaken. It just happened so fast. 1 minute he was fine, the next. That's how it is sometimes, I say. The pressure builds up inside them until they can't hold it anymore. It wasn't about you. You were just there when the dam broke. We talk for another 10 minutes, a mini debriefing. We call it a post-incident huddle. It's as important as the intervention itself. It's how we take care of each other. It's how we survive the emotional shrapnel of moments like these. Walking back to the nurse's station, the weight of the last hour settles on me. That could have gone so differently. A plastic pitcher in the right hands can break a nose, crack an orbital bone. Kevin could have been seriously hurt. David could have been put in restraints, a traumatic experience for everyone involved, and one that would have shattered any therapeutic rapport we had. We navigated the storm, and everyone came out safe. It feels like a victory, but it's a quiet, heavy one. It's a victory that came at the cost of one man's complete emotional breakdown and a young staff member's sense of safety. And the day isn't over yet. Not even close. The adrenaline starts to recede, and what's left is a dull humming exhaustion. The first thing I do is find the tech who was cornered. He's sitting in the break room staring at a wall, hands trembling just slightly. I sit down next to him, not too close, just enough to be present. I don't ask if he's okay because of course he's not. Instead I say, you did everything right. You kept your cool, you used your training, you kept him talking until we could get there. That was good work. He just nods, not looking at me. I tell him to take his full break, to step outside, to breathe air that isn't recycled with fear. I tell him that the first time is always the worst, but that the feeling in his gut right now, that knot of terror and doubt, it's normal. It doesn't make him weak. It makes him human. And in this job we need more humans. Next comes the mountain. The paperwork. Every single intervention, every quote, every de-escalation technique used, every medication administered, has to be documented with meticulous, almost surgical precision. This isn't just charting. It's building a legal and medical fortress around the events of the last hour. The report will be read by my manager, by the hospital administrator, by the doctor, and potentially by a lawyer or a judge. Every word I write has to be objective, factual, and defensible. I describe the patient's escalating agitation, the verbal threats, the physical posturing, the failed attempts at redirection. I document the code, the response time, the exact medication and dosage, the patient's response, the post-restraint assessment. It's a story told in the cold, sterile language of medicine, a ghost of the chaos that just unfolded. It takes me nearly an hour where the rest of the unit has to wait. And they have been waiting. The code was a bomb that went off in the middle of our community. The other patients heard the shouting, saw the rush of bodies. Now I have to do damage control. I walk the floor and the atmosphere is thick with anxiety. One of my patients, a young woman with severe anxiety, is pacing in the hallway, wringing her hands. She asks me if she's safe here. I have to look her in the eye and with a calm I do not feel reassure her. I tell her that everyone is safe, that the situation is handled, and that we are here to protect her. Feels like a half-truth. We are trained, we are prepared. But are we ever truly guaranteed safety in a place that holds so much pain? I find another patient, an older man who struggles with paranoia, hiding in his room. He's convinced the code was a signal that people are coming for him. I spend 20 minutes just sitting with him talking about the weather, about the baseball game he watched last night, about his grandkids, anything to pull him back from the ledge of his delusion. It's like tuning a radio, carefully turning the dial away from the static until you find a clear station. It works for now, but I've just spent my emotional energy in two places at once, documenting a crisis and preventing another one. This is the job. It's not just about reacting to the fire in front of you. It's about spotting the embers smoldering all around you. The afternoon bleeds into evening. The rhythm of the unit slowly returns. Dinner trays are delivered. The low hum of the television in the day room provides a new soundtrack. I do my final medication pass of the shift. It's a quieter affair now. I'm handing out pills for sleep, for anxiety, for mood stabilization. Each little paper cup is a tiny boat of hope I'm pushing out into the turbulent waters of someone's mind. For most it's routine. But then I get to her room. The woman who came in catatonic, who hasn't spoken a single word in 3 days. The one who just stares. I go in, same as always. "Hi, Mary," I say softly. "Time for your evening medication." I hold out the cup. She doesn't move. Her eyes are fixed on a spot on the wall. This is our ritual. I usually have to coax her, sometimes even get help to administer it. But tonight I'm too tired for the usual script. I just sink down onto the edge of her bed, holding the little cup. I don't say anything. I just sit there in the quiet with her. The silence stretches. 1 minute, 2, and then I feel a slight shift. Her eyes move from the wall to my hand. Slowly, so slowly, she reaches out and takes the cup. She takes the pills, sips the water, and hands the empty cups back to me. And then she speaks. Her voice is a dry whisper, a rusty hinge. All she says is, "Thank you." And in that moment, the entire day rearranges itself in my head. The shouting, the fear, the paperwork, the exhaustion. It all fades into the background. And the foreground is just this tiny flicker of connection. A woman lost in the fog of her own mind, reaching out for a lifeline and finding it. This is the victory. Not the code. Not the successful restraint. This is the thing you can't document. You can't chart a moment of grace. But it's the fuel. It's the only thing that makes it possible to come back and do it all again tomorrow. Soon, the night shift nurse arrives, looking fresh and ready. My own shoulders ache and my brain feels like scrambled eggs. The handover is the final, sacred act of the shift. I walk her through the entire unit, patient by patient. I tell her about the code, the fallout, the lingering tension. I tell her who's a suicide risk, who needs extra observation, who's been refusing their meds. I tell her about Mary. I tell her she spoke. The night nurse's eyes widen just a bit. She understands. It's a small detail, but in our world it's an earthquake. I'm not just handing over a set of tasks. I'm handing over the lives and the hopes and the fears of 24 vulnerable human beings. I'm trusting her to keep them safe until the sun comes up. Finally, at nearly 8 p.m., 12 and a half hours after I arrived, I walk out the double doors. The alarm chirps as I badge out, a sound of release. The evening air hits my face, and for a second, I've forgotten what unscented, non-institutional air smells like. I get in my car and I don't turn on the radio. I just sit in the silence. But it's not silent. My mind is screaming. It's replaying the code, analyzing every decision I made. Did I say the right thing? Did I move fast enough? What if he'd had a weapon? What about the tech? Will he come back to work tomorrow? The questions are a relentless assault. The drive home is a blur. I'm a ghost piloting a metal shell, my mind still back on the unit. When I walk into my own quiet house, the ordinariness of it is jarring. A pile of mail on the table, a pair of shoes by the door. It's a world away from the one I just left. Yet I've dragged the ghosts of it home with me. I feel the residue of the day clinging to me like smoke. The fear of the young tech, the desperation of the man in restraints, the profound loneliness in Mary's eyes. You can't just clock out from that. You carry it. Some days it's a pebble in your shoe. Other days it's a boulder on your back. People ask me why I do it. Why I choose a job where you can be screamed at, threatened, and assaulted. All for a paycheck that doesn't begin to compensate for the emotional cost. They don't see the other side. They don't see the quiet breakthroughs. They don't see the moment a patient laughs for the first time in a month. They don't see the family that cries with relief when their loved one finally agrees to treatment. And they don't see the incredible, humbling privilege it is to be the person who sits in the dark with someone. Not to offer easy answers, but just to hold a light. Not to fix them, but to remind them that they are worth fighting for, until they can remember it for themselves. This job will break your heart. It will test your limits. It will exhaust your soul. But you show up again the next day. Because you know that on the other side of that door, someone is having the worst day of their life. And they're waiting for you. They're waiting for a flicker of hope. And today I got to be that flicker. And for that I am grateful. And I am tired. So very tired. And I will be back tomorrow.